Long before Columbus sailed the ocean blue, a different set of explorers discovered the New World. They were not Spaniards, they were Vikings. These robust seafarers from the frosty realms of Scandinavia dared to venture into the unknown, driven by a thirst for discovery. They navigated treacherous waters, battled the unforgiving Atlantic, and set foot on American soil centuries before Columbus was even a twinkle in history's eye. Join us in delving into the fascinating journey of these Nordic explorers. Hailing from the harsh landscapes of Scandinavia, the Vikings were a formidable force. Born into a world of fjords and freezing winters, they were hardened by the elements, honing their skills as seafarers and warriors. The sea was their highway, and the sleek, sturdy longships were their vehicles of choice. Carved from sturdy oak, these vessels were a testament to their technological prowess and a symbol of their adventurous spirit. Yet, the Vikings were not just fierce warriors, they were explorers, traders, and settlers. Their thirst for new lands was driven by a complex mix of necessity and ambition. Expanding populations and scarce resources in their homeland compelled them to seek new territories. But it was their inherent curiosity, their hunger for wealth, and their desire for fame that truly propelled them across the horizon. The Vikings' maritime skills were second to none. They had an intimate knowledge of the sea, its currents, and its whims. Using primitive navigation tools and celestial bodies, they plotted courses through uncharted waters. Their longships, with their dragon-headed prows, cut through the icy Atlantic waves like a knife through butter. Their journeys were not without peril. They battled brutal storms, navigated treacherous waters, and faced unknown dangers. But their resilience was as steadfast as their ships, and they pressed on, driven by their indomitable spirit of exploration. Armed with their longships and a thirst for discovery, they set off towards the unknown. Guided by the stars and their sheer determination, the Vikings embarked on a daring journey across the Atlantic. Setting sail from their home shores in Scandinavia, they braved the harsh, unforgiving seas, their eyes set firmly on the horizon, their hearts ablaze with the spirit of exploration. Their route was not a straightforward one. The sagas of Icelanders, ancient texts telling tales of exploration and adventure, provide us with clues. They speak of the Vikings first reaching the Faroe Islands, then Iceland, and finally Greenland. Each stop was a stepping stone, a sanctuary in the stormy sea, a place to rest, resupply, and prepare for the next leg of the journey. But it was not the end of their voyage, far from it. Their sights were set on a land even further west, a land that lay on the edge of their world and the beginning of a new one, a land they would later call Vinland. The voyage was fraught with danger. Storms raged, winds howled, and the sea threatened to swallow them whole. But the Vikings, in their sturdy longships, built to withstand the fury of the North Atlantic, held fast. They navigated using primitive yet effective methods, relying on the sun, the stars, and the flight patterns of birds. They also used a mysterious tool known as a sunstone, a mineral that, when held up to the sky, could locate the sun even on a cloudy day. This ingenious navigation aid, coupled with their unyielding resolve, guided them through the perilous journey. Their endurance was put to the test. Food and fresh water supplies dwindled. The biting cold seeped into their bones, yet they persisted. The promise of new lands, of untold riches, of a place beyond the edge of the known world, propelled them forward. And then, after weeks at sea, their perseverance paid off. Land appeared on the horizon, not just any land, but a new land, a land ripe for exploration. After braving the treacherous journey, the Vikings landed on the shores of a new land they called Vinland. Contrary to popular belief, the Viking presence in North America is not just a stuff of legends. Concrete evidence of their journey across the Atlantic exists, and it's quite compelling. Perhaps the most significant of these is the archaeological site at Lono Meadows, located on the northernmost tip of Newfoundland. Discovered in the 1960s, this site is believed to have been an outpost of the Vikings around the year 1000. Predating Columbus by almost 5 centuries. The remnants of 8 sod-covered buildings were found, closely resembling the descriptions of Viking settlements in the sagas of Icelanders. Excavations at the site have unearthed a treasure trove of artifacts. Among these are a bronze fastening pin, iron boat nails, and even a stone oil lamp. The presence of such objects, unmistakably Scandinavian in origin, is a clear indication of Viking habitation. But it's not just about the artifacts. It's also about the stories they tell us. The tools found suggest a self-sustaining community, with evidence of carpentry, iron production, and even ship repair. The Vikings here were not merely passers-by, they were settlers. carving out a life in this new world. To delve deeper into this, we've spoken with leading experts in the field. These archaeologists and historians have dedicated their lives to piecing together the story of the Vikings in North America. They share fascinating insights into the findings at Lono Meadows, explaining their significance and painting a vivid picture of Viking life in this far-flung outpost. What emerges from their accounts is not a tale of reckless marauders as often portrayed in popular culture, but one of resourceful explorers and settlers. They speak of a people who braved the unknown, who adapted and persisted in a harsh and unfamiliar environment. These artifacts stand as a testament to their journey, painting a vivid picture of their life in the New World. The Viking presence in North America is not a mere footnote in history. It's a chapter in its own right, a tale of exploration and settlement that predates Columbus and challenges our understanding of the past. The Vikings were not alone in this land. They encountered indigenous populations, leading to a cultural exchange. Venturing into territories unknown to them, the Vikings came face to face with the indigenous peoples of America, setting the stage for interactions that were as complex as they were unpredictable. The Norse Sagas, our primary source of information about this era, tell tales of trade, conflict, and perhaps even intermarriage. Imagine the scene. A Viking longship pulling ashore, its dragon prow silhouetted against the setting sun. The Norsemen disembark, their eyes meeting those of the curious and cautious indigenous people. A world apart in language and customs, yet now standing on the same soil. The sagas tell us of a place the Vikings called Vinland, a land of wild grapes and tall trees. They recount encounters with a people they referred to as Skraelings. Though these accounts are shrouded in myth and legend, they offer glimpses into the interactions that may have occurred. Trade likely played a key role. The Vikings, renowned for their craftsmanship, could have exchanged iron tools and weapons for furs, hides, and local commodities. There's also evidence of conflict. The sagas speak of battles and skirmishes, underscoring the inherent tensions of these cultural intersections. But let's not overlook the potential for peaceful coexistence and even assimilation. Some scholars speculate that intermarriage may have occurred, weaving together the threads of Viking and indigenous cultures. Yet these hypotheses remain largely unproven, adding to the allure and mystery of this historical period. Undeniably, these encounters would have left indelible impressions on both sides. The Vikings may have returned home with tales of the New World and its people, while the indigenous populations were introduced to a culture vastly different from their own. The brief Viking presence may have left a lasting impact on the indigenous cultures. Their interactions, though fleeting, may have sparked changes that rippled through generations. As we delve deeper into this fascinating period of history, we continue to unravel the intricate tapestry of human interaction and cultural exchange. Fast forward to 1492, when Columbus set foot on the American continent. It's a moment etched into our collective memory, but let's not forget that some 500 years prior, the Vikings had already charted these unknown waters. Yes, the same Vikings, known for their fearsome raids and prowess in battle, were also intrepid explorers. Their ships, built for speed and durability, were masterpieces of engineering for their time. Unlike Columbus's larger vessels, Viking longships were designed to navigate both broad oceans and shallow rivers, making them ideal for exploration. And then, there's the question of navigation. The Vikings relied on the sun, stars, birds, and even the color of the sea to guide their way. They didn't have the compass, which only found its way to Europe around the 12th century. Columbus, on the other hand, had the advantage of more developed navigation tools, including the compass and the quadrant. Their journeys were fraught with perils, from treacherous seas to hostile lands. But the Vikings, with their spirit of adventure, braved these challenges almost half a millennium before Columbus. Their achievement, given their time period, is nothing short of remarkable. So as we recall the tale of Columbus's voyage, let's also pay homage to the Vikings. Columbus may have paved the way for European colonization, but it was the Vikings who first dared to venture into the New World. The Viking Discovery of America is a testament to human exploration and courage. These daring Norse voyagers, sailing across the treacherous Atlantic centuries before Columbus, indelibly etched their mark on the annals of discovery. Their journey epitomizes the spirit of exploration, a potent reminder of our inherent desire to venture beyond the known world. A fleeting yet monumental chapter in our shared history, the Viking sojourn in America stirs our imagination. What if the Vikings had stayed longer in America? It's a question that leaves us pondering the course of history.